morning. Good
Happy
morning.
Monday.
Happy
Hi.
Monday, guys. So
Morning,
This is
everybody.
third Monday of the month.
Yes,
Third
yes.
Monday.
Oh, Edward, good to see you, Edward.
Good morning. Everybody has, let me see. I know
Good
we
morning.
house
Good
that.
Good morning.
Morning, Edward.
Edward, good to see you, Edward.
Yeah, good to
Good
see
morning.
Santos.
Everybody
Team
has,
Santos.
I know we house.
Morning.
Good morning.
We are in a little bit of a chilly situation today. We can,
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
think
Been a cold
we
day.
can survive this. We can survive this
Technology
Florida
gotta-
weather. I know it's snowing. We had snowing in the Panhandle yesterday.
Oh my God, yes. I know.
So for those people who say they miss the snow and they don't want to move to Florida, guess what? We do have snow.
Yep, come over.
All seasons right here in the state. This is the one
Yeah.
thing. You get up in the morning in winter time, then the noon is summer, and then go back to fall in the afternoon. So we have all seasons.
That's
one day.
right.
It's 36 right now
36.
here.
Ooh.
Nice.
Love it. Love it.
No, we need to get back to our normal day, our normal.
Yes.
Yeah, I said it this
Like that.
the other day with the guys. I'm like, I don't go outside until the temperature is about my age. Right now, it's still under my age, so I can't.
I'm
step
good.
outside.
It's under my age, so I'm good. I'm good.
Good morning, everyone. I hope let's give you a few more minutes. We had some people coming in, and I love that you guys getting up and running so early in the morning on a Monday, which is, also it's a holiday, but as we know as a realtor, we don't have a day off. This is awesome. We get to be in front of the camera every day, which I love it.
Yeah, it's a federal
yes.
holiday.
Yeah, Martin Luther King.
Yes,
Martin Luther King Day
yes.
today. So let's also honor Mr. Martin Luther King today. With that note, guys, we want to thank everyone for being here today. Happy Monday. Want to thank everybody for last week for our branch meeting. We really appreciate everybody coming together. Just cute a couple announcements. Tomorrow is Foundation in Spanish. Foundation in Spanish at 9 a.m. in Celebration Office. You don't have to be new to be able to attend to Foundation. So highly encourage everybody to attend because you can learn about the new system, learn anything that you feel like you still need a little help. Make sure you attend to Foundation, go to my agent account to register. Also on Thursday, we have our compliance department teaching a class in Spanish. So this is a Spanish week. So if you guys need help in English, let us know as well. So Thursday at 11 a.m., we do have that amazing training online. So highly recommend to log in, especially with the new changes that came up on the compliance department, just so you guys can stay up to date and make sure you guys get paid on time. Another announcement is our award ceremony. Oh, go ahead.
I wanted to piggyback what you mentioned. Also on Thursdays is another big class on Thursdays. Every single Thursday, Department of Education from 12 to 1, they do a takeoff call every single Thursday, which is all about all the systems, managing an account, how to set up, making sure that all your systems are working properly. That's every Thursday in English from 12 to 1. And then from 1 to 2 is in Spanish. So if you have, like Priscilla said, if you're having issues, that one goes directly into all the systems, making sure you're set up right, making sure that you're pretty much onboarded correctly. And that happens every single Thursday from 12 to 1, 12 to 1 in English and 1 to 2 in Spanish.
Yeah, again, we definitely want to make sure that we know what tools that we have here in the company and being able to utilize it as well. Another quick announcement is for the offices of St. Cloud, Premier, which is Waterford Lakes, Nona, and Orlando, we have an award ceremony coming up. So that's going to be on February 5th. We're going to be sending out the invitation. This is a special invite only. So I hope, we check the production. If you feel that, you sold more than 2 million and up, please send us a quick note in case, make sure we don't miss anybody. But it's going to be a great celebration. Cheryl help us find a perfect location. This is going to be on the Dr. Phillips area. Great place. I mean, looking forward. We're going to have tons of fun. and again, be able to recognize those agents who went above and beyond in this 2025. So stay tuned for that. And again, we're going to be sending you guys the invite. So once you get that invite, please make sure you register so we can do a proper head count. Anything else you guys have, Cheryl and Caesar, for your offices?
No, as of right now, no. As of right now, in regards to, you pretty much hit all the topics. We are having our branch meeting towards the end of the month, and I'll be sending out a message to everyone about that.
Awesome. All right. I know Cheryl is working on a grand opening in St. Cloud, so that's another party. You know, we love to get together. So Cheryl, I know that's going to be hopefully potentially in March.
Yes, or before that, we have our bus tour that is gonna be in February
true.
18th.
Oh, yes, that's true.
And we're gonna be able to tour they said that they need to confirm one more, but so far we have confirmed 3 communities that we're gonna tour via the so we're gonna meet at the St. Cloud office on February 18th at 10 a.m. So you can see the new office over there, how we're putting that is gonna be really nice. And then after that, we're gonna see we're gonna have a sales rep in each of those communities that's gonna tell us what's going on in those communities. They're being very creative of what they're offering to the buyer, and I love the opportunity to put you guys in front of them so you can see in the first hand what they're doing over there.
Don't forget that is first come, first serve. The bus only fits 45 people. So if you are, once you get the invitation, please sign up immediately. That way we got a head count for the bus. If, let's say, for example, once we're full, then everyone's gonna have to follow us on the bus to the communities, and all the food and drinks, right?
Yes.
Making sure we gotta get them in there. We gotta feed everybody.
We definitely need a proper head count for that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we are ready to start Mindset Monday. Caesar, what do we have today?
Well, today we have our Mindset Monday, and it's a topic that is also dear to me as well, because we all fall into this. We all fall into this thing, which is we gotta try our best, and sometimes it's very hard to consume less to be more productive. Consume a whole lot less. That way we can be more productive. And I want you to think about that as we continue on this Monday, because the thing is that people are busy and we're not always being productive. You know, we got information that is everywhere. There's information pouring into us from every direction. We got podcasts, we got reels, we got Instagram, we got trending, we got market updates, we got strategies, we have scripts, we have everything. Now, we're not saying that, you know, learning is a bad thing. We're not saying that. We know that learning is a very important aspect of our business because it helps us grow. It completely helps us grow. But the whole thing is that many of us professionals, we quietly, you know, we replace our actions with our consumption for some reason. I fall into that tremendously sometimes because I am analytical and I think, I'm a thinker. So I love getting information in, but sometimes I have to be aware that I'm not falling in just data consumption and not taking action behind it. Okay. Now in real estate, how that translates to real estate, because there are so many things that makes us feel productive because we're engaged, because we're actually doing something, we're participating in something specifically. But that doesn't mean that we're being productive at all, even though we're consuming. That's why sometimes we feel that a lot of agents fall into the trap of only consuming those I like calling it the mechanical part of the business, the behind the scenes, the contracts, understanding the systems, trying to figure out social media, and all that's important. But we have to be also very careful that with that consumption that we're doing, that we're actually now we got to start engaging and taking action into those things. Because the whole thing is that we don't want to fall always into the listening, reading, saving, and planning phase. We have to, in some point, take all that information that we have taken and start taking action. So the core points that we want to discuss today, I have them here. 1, consumption feels safe, but production feels exposed. Because remember, when we start producing, some of those things that we might not know starts coming out. And that means that we have to kind of learn. And that's why it's so safe for us to go right back into the consumption phase without realizing that that's exactly where we need to be at. We need to continue. We got to stay in that production. Even though you may feel vulnerable at times. Number two, information without application just creates a bunch of noise. Because the whole thing is that, well, I want to get into it later. I don't want to give all the topics away. And then number three, production creates clarity faster than planning. Okay, that's the point number three. And point number four, leaders model output, not over preparation. And that is something that we all have to, I've always mentioned this, that we have to be able to measure our business. We have to be able to troubleshoot our business. So we have to model the output. The output meaning what are our results that we're receiving from the information that we've gotten, that we've taken action on. And it's super important not to be stuck in preparation. So let's go into, why does the consumption feel safe? Why do we feel so comfortable being in that phase and not getting out of that engagement or that action phase? Let's start it off with that.
Yeah, I feel like we attend to the trainings, like you said before, which is super important to attend to trainings and to attend to your classes. Every time, my suggestion is like, yeah, you're doing something productive, because I always say you should be doing something related with real estate every single day. If you feel like it's 5 days a week, you should be doing something related with that every those 5 days if that's your goal. However, if I go into a class right now, and like just to give you an idea, I got on a class of how to get listings, and I'm gonna try to write down 2 to 3 ways that I can get listings, to like bullet point. This is what I'm gonna apply. I'll learn it, go home, practice on that until you master those 3 points, and we'll realize which one of those points is going to be best. Then I'm ready. Now that I know how to do this, then I'm ready for the next one. And I think that's the misconception that we get. We just keep going and going again and going again and keep pouring information into our brain, but not taking the actions that we need to be able to make those things happen.
I want to ask a question that you meant. You just said something right there regarding that we got pouring information and why we're not taking action. Because sometimes we have to ask. We sometimes, I don't know if anybody falls into that boat that says, "Oh man, why I feel I cannot take an action? Why I can't go the next step? What's going on? What is going on that I feel stuck?" Because I'm pretty sure a lot of us have been through that. That we know what we got to do, but yet we don't take action, even though we're learning and learning and learning and learning. Is because I feel that the biggest challenge that we have is rejection. Rejection is something that subconsciously I feel that it holds us back. It holds us in a way that sometimes we don't realize is happening, because we have such a big fear of rejection. And it is a true feeling that we have to do our best to overcome. But how do we overcome that rejection? How do we overcome that rejection? Norma, you have your hand up. Go ahead.
It's a word that my daughter, Valentina, introduced me a long time ago. Overstimulate. In this business is very, very easy to get overstimulated about, okay, the real estate. You are new in this business. You need to learn about contract. You need to learn about social media, how to, make social media every day. You need to post. You need to know about the market. You need to learn about everything. Sometimes you are, you get into learn about the podcast and everything, but when you are, comfortable learning all this stuff, but when the reality, when you are the time to get the reality to apply, to call the clients, or to apply to go and make the, the post, is when we start. That is the problem. Because sometimes we are, when the reality comes, we don't know what to do, because we learn all this stuff that we don't know how to apply or when to apply.
That is so true. That is so true what you're saying. It goes right back to what I was saying about the whole feel that rejection. We get stuck in that moment. We get stuck because you mentioned posting. You mentioned the actual things that we're going to start doing. At that time, we're thinking about, one, if we're going to make the phone calls, we feel the rejection. What if they tell me no? What if they say this? What if they say that? So that means that see how that is exposing certain things in you that you still maybe need to practice. That way you prepare yourself for those calls. Like, for example, you mentioned social media as well. Oh, we start thinking about, oh, I don't look good on camera. Oh, I don't know how to talk on camera. Oh, what if someone comments something that I don't like? What's gonna happen? There's so many things that automatically run into our brain because of the fact that we're so scared of that rejection that it just stops us in our tracks, stops us completely in our tracks. So I love you said those points, Norma,
No,
because
it gets very easy to accumulate knowledge.
No.
Oh my gosh.
yes,
Mira, the market is that. But how do I put in the post in social media? What social media? Facebook, Instagram, what I post. You know everything, but how I post, how I make the post, how
correct.
I talk to the clients about the market. If I did that, say that wrong. You
Right.
know, you accumulate things, but you don't know how to deliver
Expose it. You
to
know
the
how to
clients.
deliver it, to express it.
Yeah.
That's why I really a big firm believer that we all should follow the guidelines of Gary Vee. Just post. It don't matter how it looks. It don't matter how it comes out. Just post. Because sometimes we tend to try to be all perfect, and next thing you know, the one that you thought that was gonna be the worst video that you thought was the worst video now is the video that's getting the most likes, the most engagement, the most everything. You're like, what? That doesn't make sense because we have this in our mind, this perfectionism that we have in our mind that the way things have to be, that it prevents us from actually taking action in those things that we've learned so far, regardless if you know it. That's why they say that's why that first topic, consumption feels safe and production exposes. Production exposes because it's gonna put you out of your comfort zone. It's gonna put you in your situation. Okay, now is the time to apply what you've learned. What's going on? That's why accountability partners are so important. Accountability partners are incredible to have. Magda, you have your hand up.
Yeah, about what you guys are talking is because sometimes we look for perfection, and we don't want to take action because we want to have the right tools, the right time, and to feel like great. But sometimes we don't feel that great, but we gotta do it, just
Yep.
implement it. But we go into different courses and do that and here, but only learn but don't apply because sometimes it's too like complicated. We complicate things and we gotta make it like easy in order to put it in place.
Right.
And we gotta be mindful because we know our brain is made to have to the energy to take the lowest that it can. And we gotta be mindful because we gotta work and just do the action like one step at a time and make it
Yep.
easy in order to do it. If we learn something in a course, like in the first 24 hours, it's better to implement it, even one thing, but
Yep.
implement it, because if we keep putting things like in the back and just learn and learn, we'll never do anything.
Yeah,
So,
that's a do
I
one
love
now.
I love I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. Because
Mhm.
we were mentioning a couple of things about the engagement and taking action. Because the whole thing is that sometimes what we'll do is that we'll watch an hour-long video. We'll schedule on our calendar an hour-long video for you to do something.
yeah.
And during that time, our brain is stating, "Oh, you're being productive. Yes, you're learning something. You
Busy.
are doing something. You are busy. You are busy." And we have to be careful when we're confusing that business because when let's say you do take that training on how to make calls or whatever the case is, now you got to go make the call. Now you got to make the action. Now once you start doing the action, where it exposes is that once you start making the call, that's going to reveal where clarity and your confidence is lacking. Because if I start making the calls, if I'm calling expired, let's say for example, and I'm having trouble on the phone just getting words out, there's some clarity and confidence I still need to gain. But that's the point of the whole producing part of putting yourself uncomfortable. That way we can understand where we are lacking and where we need more training on. And then from there we go and learn those specific things and then take action again. And it's a cycle until we perfect it. So that's something very important.
Practice.
Practice, the practicing of things, and you scheduling that way you have blocks for that and then blocks that you are engaging and taking action.
That's what
Super important.
I know that Cheryl has your hand up, but piggyback on that, just a little tip there. If you attend to a class, let's say this Thursday, and you learn in this workshop something that you feel you can apply to your business, as soon as you finish a class, go ahead and start practicing on that immediately. And it takes 30 days to create a new habit. So if you're not in the habit of making that phone call, start with one call a day. That's 30 people you can call in 30 days. And then you're gonna feel like I didn't make the call today. I didn't do what I was supposed to do today. But like I said before, getting on the habit, doing something related with real estate every day, just write that down. And you're gonna be at the end of the day, did I do something related with real estate today? No, I was watching YouTube videos. So I was just watching, TikTok, or I didn't do anything related. I know that we all need a day off, and I have guilt for that because sometimes I don't take time off for myself. But just create that one thing, because sometimes we look at 30 calls a day. Oh my God, that's a whole lot. But with one call per day, one new habit per day, it will definitely get you there. And the 30 days pass by, and you're gonna feel like I missed out. You definitely go back to yourself. I'm like, I didn't do this. Cheryl, go ahead.
You know that when you think you both mentioned something that I love when Magda said that we're always looking for perfection. When I'm doing the videos, I said to myself, if I like the video, at least 80% of the video is good, ready to post. Because it will never, never, never be perfect. And what I love the most that people like when you make mistakes, they see that you're a person just like them and they relate to you. I'm not saying that everybody's gonna be like with yes, exactly. No, not always doing mistake. But if the video was great, but you just make a little mistake, maybe you said something and then you just said it right immediately, you can leave it like that. People's gonna prefer to see someone who's being like a person, a human that makes mistake, and they can connect better with you. The only reason that we do videos is for people to connect with you, so they can see your personality, connect with you, and if they like you and trust you, they can give you business.
Amen.
Right. That's correct.
Santos.
And let me just add one more, sorry, and goes to the phone calls, it's the same, because the perfection part, when I was doing the 30 days under pain, 30 days of pain, you make the calls, and the person that you were at the beginning is not the same person that was making the call after those 30 days, and making those calls, and people asking me questions that I didn't know how to respond, but help me, and nobody can do it for me. And that perfection came in, it was not perfect at all. It's just that I was able to know what they're gonna say and that I have it ready for the next person. I was getting better, and that's what make you be better, 1% better every day.
We got to do that training
Thank
again.
you.
I love it. 30
30
days.
days of pain.
We got to do this.
Let's do
Go
it.
ahead, Santos.
I'm ready. I love it.
Santos.
Yes, I just want something to share about what Cherish is talking about. It's happened to me. At the beginning, we are a little bit shy just doing videos, and I just remembered that I have a client from like 4 years ago, I can say, that he just like us because we just make a mistake in a video. Because in Puerto Rico, we call the marquesina, the garage, the marquesina. And I was just trying to speak in English, and and I was confusing about the marquesina and the two-car garage. And they just laugh about that. They call me, and so far today, they are so friends. They are, we are like 3 transactions so far just because of that. And I think that the people just love you because like you are. Nothing special. We don't have to change our voice or do something, or do, we just do like just we are,
It's be you.
I love that.
Hey.
I love
Connect
that,
with
Santos.
you. That's great. That's what we're looking for.
I love that, because hearing that in my brain, it just gives me encouragement, because I hope everyone's taking that same encouragement that, we don't have to be perfect on the things. Look at what he just said. He made a mistake, and because of it was the mistake that connected him more, made him feel real. Because sometimes we go on social media and we want to look, and we comparing all these videos of these very overproduced productions, like movies. They're great. They're nice. If you want to do something like that, there's nothing wrong with those things. But if you're not doing or taking action because your output doesn't look like those big overproduced productions, then that's where I believe that we're making the mistake because of the fact that we shouldn't have to wait till it's produced in that manner to start doing. We need to start doing now, and eventually it's going to get better. It's going to continue getting better and better in your video because now you're going to be making more money. Then you can hire somebody to record you. You don't have to get a tripod to stand in front somewhere and let the camera follow you. So all those things are going to continue getting better. So that's the whole point of this, that making sure that, yes, we're learning, but don't be trying to make it perfect. Be encouraged to, even if it's not the best the way you thought it could be or it should be, still put it out there because you never know who you're going to connect with, just like Santos. That's perfect. And then
Love that.
I know Wanda has her hand up, and we're going to get into the
Can I-
second.
Can I
Huh?
add something to that? It's
Yeah,
quick.
go ahead.
So there's calls that the AI calls that are doing calls. You know that there's AI making calls. Now they adding the imperfection part to the calls, so people do not check when it's real. So the
Yeah.
AI are making like mistake when they talk, so we don't know when it's
It's real.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's crazy.
Wow.
I'll show you one. I have one.
That's crazy. So as I know Wanda had her hand up, but let's get right into the second point, because of time. So the next point is information without application just creates noise. Creates noise. And what is that noise? What is that noise that it creates when we are taking so much information without application? I want to open up to other people on the call, whoever wants to input on that.
No, anybody goes up. I feel like it goes back to the point that we were speaking before. We just
Yes.
feel like we've been productive when we take an information in. We feel like we're doing something.
That's true. Now, how does it apply? Like I always like to add, like, how does this apply to us in real estate when we're information without application just creates a bunch of noise? What I mean with the noise, like for example, has anybody ever involved in the career in real estate have been, let's say, for example, you find a system, you start using it, and then you're like, okay, it's going to work great, and then next thing you know, you see something else over here, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, that looks good too. Let me go try that one out. And then a month later, then you see this other system, like, oh, wait a minute, this one looks good too. Let me go over here. And then you see this strategy, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, I got this strategy. And then you're working on that strategy, and then you see something else someone else is doing, and you're like, wait a minute, that looks good too. So let me go try that one over there. You see the noise that it created? You see how you never fully were able to get mentally in what you were doing because you switched it up again. You switched up your mind. So that's what happens when we're taking in so much information. And believe me, I understand that because I love consuming data. I love consuming data. And I have to be aware of that. I have to be aware that I can't be switching all the time because then by the time I start engaging in this system, because now I'm understanding it, my brain found the next shiny object over here that thing I believe that is better than the one I have. No, we need to master what we have and see if that's going to continue working or whatever the case is. You give it time, 3 months before you start switching again, because that noise is what we're talking about that you're creating. So if you're jumping between systems, strategies, all different types of scripts, let's say even scripts, you have to stick to your script all the time. But if every day you're making calls and you're using a different script, how do you know it works? How do you know if that system they're using today, if you switch it tomorrow and then Thursday in the week you change it 4 times, how do you know if it works or not? If you're not giving it the time because you're over consuming. So that's why I love trying to apply it. And how does it apply to us in real estate on a daily basis? Norma, go ahead.
Speaking of which, I
What?
just I know a top producer. She's been a top producer for years, consistently. She don't consume a podcast. She don't pay for ad. She don't do anything.
I know you're talking about.
She don't do anything. She's been over 10 million every year consistently. She learned how to do real estate. She's been doing that every day. She's been like the horses,
Wow.
she's like this. She's doing that. She don't hear any noise. She don't look in the back. She don't do. She's going like that. And she's been doing that for years. Simple real estate.
Thank you,
I had a conversation with
Simple
her this
real
past week.
estate. If she's been working like that, it's work for her. It like her is a lot of real estate. She don't try to do a fancy videos in social media or podcast or cool call. You know, she's
I had
very-
I had a conversation with her, Norma, this past on I think it was on Friday. We were having a conversation. And one thing she did say, she was talking with somebody and she said that she's like a horse, just like that. She's like, I have blinders and all I focus is where my goal is. And that's it. I don't care what's going on. If the world's falling apart, that's not my problem. I'm just focused on my goal. And
Right.
she's focused, and that's the only thing she does. And you're 100% right. Every year she does over $10 million in
in the
volume. And
pandemia, she sold 10 millions. Every year, more than 8 millions every year. Don't matter what, she does. Sometimes she doesn't go to training. She doesn't have any designations. She doesn't have any, nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, you don't need an
If
extra
she's
title.
doing real estate, she called the clients, she meet a client, and then she meet the whole family. She sell the real estate to the whole family, the cousin, the grandkid, the part, everybody, all the neighbors around, everybody. She put it in the Facebook. She don't do any advertising, but the whole family knows her. The whole friends. She put everybody in Facebook. She's doing organic things. And she's been doing that for years.
And I love you
Works.
mentioned that, and I love you mentioned that because the whole thing is that
This is not the only one.
it's not because of lack of effort. It's not because of lack of talent or anything like that when it comes to that, because obviously we know she has a talent, but the thing is that we fall into that. I think that sometimes we fall into that comparison, and then we believe that we need to have a certain designation, or we need to have this, or we need to have the third, we need to have this. Either we're fulfilling an unmet something inside of us that we need for ourselves to feel confidence, or
Okay, I'm not
not sure.
comparing. I'm not comparing her or
No.
or
I'm
he.
not saying.
I
no,
don't mention anybody. I just say that everybody's getting this business to find the holy grail. It's not a holy grail. You know, this business is very simple. You know, you don't need to master it a social media or a special script. You know, it's very simple. It's a touch base with your clients, with people. It's very simple.
True. Yes.
We make it very, you know, complicated. You know,
I agree with you 100%.
sometimes you make things like you need to master it. You need to. I don't know how to explain, but
I agree with you 100% that sometimes we do overcomplicate. I believe that we overcomplicate things. What I was referring in the sense of that sometimes we're trying to meet unmet something in ourselves that we need to get these things to feel confident to do those type of things, to do what she's doing. And the thing about it is, she's not worried about any of that stuff. She doesn't care about that. She doesn't care about any of those designations. All she's focused on is the next deal, the person in front, because at the end of the day, this is all relationship based. And yes, there are situations that, you know, if I've never done this, I want to practice in some way, shape, or form. And you know, and the idea behind that is that yes, you can practice, but let's not forget that practice that you're doing, at some point we need to convert it into producing. At some point we have to convert that into action. That way we can see the production, and we can see the fruits of our efforts that we've done. We can see the fruits of the action that we've taken. So that is why it's so important that we go to go to production. So the next point that we're getting into, which is production creates clarity faster than planning. You know, anybody have anything to share with that in regards to how does the production that we are doing is creating that clarity that we need a lot faster than planning.
Yeah, I was listening. I followed this top agent. I'm pretty sure everybody knows him, Ryan Starhan. He's a top agent in New
New
York.
York.
And now
Yeah.
he's actually have a his show is coming down to Florida now. And even though you look at him, this guy has sell, just to give you guys an idea, yearly he said billions of dollar worth in real estate. He has a team over like 1,000 agents. And even though he has such a large production, he still go out there. He still believe in the rule of meeting 15 new people every day. I mean, you think about it, like where do these guys meet so many people every day? He's always searching on what's the next event out there, not so much real estate related, networking events. He spent his day 5 days a week going to networking events, and he called my attention that I did an interview. I'm like, so how do you connect? Because actually this is a connection, like we would say before. How do the other people feel? He said he goes with something that's called the 2C. He first give them a compliment when he meets somebody new, and the second C is something in common. And that's the key play for him to be able to connect with people. A compliment and what do we have in common? And we can do this over the phone. Not so much of a compliment, but I always try to connect. And when I'm on the phone, like, what do we have in common? If I'm talking to a client and they say they have kids, we're like, oh, I have kids too. What's the age? And we're trying to find something that we can, be able to connect. So all of that said is because this guy is again a top agent. He's still out there for production. He's still out there looking for the next deal, regardless that he has such a large team. And imagine how our life can change if we put that, let's say that 15 people are there, because I feel like that's definitely another level. But what if we can just meet one new person, one person per day? That's 5 people per week that we can connect. Another thing that he says, once he connects and he meets that person and talk about real estate, they exchange number. And within the first 10 minutes, he sent a text to them, the follow-up. That come the next, what else do you do? And how do you get that lead and now start like working into be able to follow up? And something that I love that he said, like, hey, let's say if we met at 7:45 and I text you at 7:50, I say, hey, we just met 5 minutes ago. And he did a little touch there to get that into the client's head. I'm like, wow, this guy, not only he just met me, he told me exactly the time we met, and it creates such a great connection. It might vary from people to people, but again, I love to hear that for somebody who's in production, who's selling so many millions of dollars, and he still go back to the basic, which is go out there. All sitting at home, or sitting in our office, or sitting on a all day 3 or 4 days training, it's not getting us in front of that client. It's not getting us to be able to get out there. You sitting at home 3 days of the week, you're missing out on be able to meet somebody who can help you with, get to that next level and be able to get that next deal.
Yes, that is so true, because he models output, and that's our last point, which is, making sure that we have to model the output. We have to see the results from that, and he's seeing the results from that because he's a super top agent, and he's been on TV for a bunch of times, and now he's bringing that over here to Miami. So pretty sure he wasn't just sitting down over preparing, watching a bunch of YouTube videos. Probably in the beginning he probably did in the sense of training, but he took the step further and applied the action into that.
Yes,
It's like the action,
because we need knowledge too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, of course.
important, yeah.
Remember, we're not saying that the knowledge is bad. We're not saying that.
No,
What we're
of
saying
course.
is that what we're saying is that the knowledge, sometimes that's the only place we stay in. We stay right there in the knowledge consumption part versus actually going out and really taking action in everything that we've learned. And that's the big part that we have to understand.
Yes, of
Correct.
course.
And it's like I say, it's a little action. It's like, hey, I met you 5 minutes ago. Hey, thank you for that. He took an action as soon as he got that connection. And that's the kind of like the main idea of this call is like, as soon as you get information that you feel is value to you, go ahead and do the action. And the little action will take you to be able to close that deal. Go ahead, Wanda.
Exactly.
Yes, just following up on what you said about the taking action, even if it's small, that's what brings you to the clarity that, related to the next topic or what we're talking about. It's like a little bit of action take you to, okay, clarification of what it kind of evolve from there. And you can kind of just a little bit of a step, it kind of take you to have clarity of where you going or what do you want to do with it.
Mhm.
That's correct. That's
Mhm.
correct. And that's what, again, like I said, like Cesar said, let's do the trainings, let's take notes, and then
Put it to
immediate
work.
action and the 30
Right.
days plan for that action, because
Yep.
sometimes that's another situation that we see. Oh, I made 30 calls and I didn't get one person to pick up. But then on that 30 calls, you actually create a new habit of making those calls. So it was not all waste.
Yep.
A waste. Right.
I want to give some real life. I wrote down some life examples that, because at the end we have to be able to apply this to real estate. We got to be able to see, okay, how does this apply? How is this in a practical application for me and in my business in real estate? So I have some here. Like for example, watching prospecting videos versus actually making the first 5 calls. That's a real life application. We could be watching a bunch of videos on how to prospect, but until we start doing it, nothing's
Yes.
gonna happen.
Right.
Also, consuming market updates. We can look at the market updates. You can listen to our market updates on Fridays. But if we're not taking the time to figure out how to explain that to our client, we're falling into the over consuming versus actually falling into the production. Also, number 3, saving social media ideas. We all do that. I do it as well. We click that save button, and then we have a list of a ton of different social media posts that we are in the hopes in our mind that we're gonna sit down and do it. But until we
Yes.
actually start posting or applying those ideas or figuring out a way to apply them, it's gonna stay in the consumption section. Also, attending every training versus what Priscilla mentioned earlier, applying one skill repeatedly. Just one thing that's gonna push you forward a little bit more. Not 57 things. One. Just pick one
Right.
for the next 90 days. Another one, planning content, calendars versus producing imperfect content. We want to sit down and have this perfect everything. Of course, as we're going, we're going to get strategies and stuff like that. But the whole thing is that we have to make sure that we cannot get stuck in the planning phase, in the planning of consuming, 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 consuming. We have to take action. So that those were the main points that we wanted to bring out to everyone, because I know we're still in the beginning of the year. And we want to make sure that everyone, including ourselves, because as we're learning this and we're researching all this for us to bring as much value as we can to everyone, we realize things as well that we need to improve on, because we're not perfect. We're not perfect at all. We've definitely put ourselves out of our comfort zone with this. So it's something that all this that we're doing, this taking action, it's actually giving us clarity of where all the other areas that we need to improve in, where areas that we need to continue. Put yourself on mute, please. Whoever's on.
My oldest sister.
Okay. So this is bringing out that clarity that we need, all these things that we're doing, that way we can continue improving. So that's what we want for everyone, that you can get out of that planning phase and really focus on the producing part, because we all have goals and we all have things that we want to meet. We have our families, whoever has families or not, but we all have different goals that we want to reach. And unless we get out of that planning phase, we're never going to get those goals. And if we're at the beginning of the year right now, this is the perfect time for us to actually start taking action on everything that we said that we're going to do.
Yeah.
Agree.
Go and make that call.
Definitely.
Don't wait.
That is right, guys. So I want to thank everyone for being here today, especially being on holiday. So we appreciate you, and with this wonderful weather outside, I'm pretty sure we don't even want to step out. I gotta walk the dog. I gotta lay her up. But I want to thank everyone for being here today, and I hope you guys being able to find some value in this call. Again, the word of the week I always say it will be take action.
Take action.
Yeah.
Take action.
Do it now, like Joe LaRose said. Go
Yeah.
ahead and get it
Don't
done.
wait.
Write down what is it that you want to accomplish this week and stick to it. I know New Year resolution by this time of the year already fading down, but let's remind you every Monday that we have to keep going. Don't let the guard down. Just continue to do so. That's what we're here to kind of like friendly remind you every Monday. Thank you guys.
Amen.
And see you guys
That's
Friday,
okay.
Leadership
Thank
Friday.
you.
Bye,
Have a
guys.
good
Happy Monday, guys.
day.
Have a wonderful week.